They say that the Steam Deck is portable, and to be honest, this is probably where it gets the most use. But how portable is it really? In this video, I'm taking my Steam Deck OLED on a 3-day business trip just to find out. And by the way, we're not just talking specs of theory here, we're talking practical use. We're talking train journey, we're talking accommodation away from home, we're talking work and after work, we're talking breaks. I just want to see how this machine incorporates with the accessories that I bring with it into these 3 days away from home, and what the added value is, and whether it makes sense to bring it or if it's better to leave it at home. And if you're new here, this is Play Fever. Here you find videos about gaming tech, handhelds like the Steam Deck, and if that's your thing, consider subscribing and dropping a like, because it really helps the channel to grow. And just before we get into the nitty-gritty of things, I just want to have a really quick look at the accessories that I'm going to bring. And here is the centerpiece. That's the Steam Deck OLED 1TB with a 512 GB micro SD. There's plenty of games on here, so I don't need to download anything. I've got everything ready, and where I'm going, there is internet pretty much everywhere, so that's not a problem at all. I've got the 45-watt charger here that comes with the Steam Deck OLED. By the way, this is excellent because I once forgot the charger for my MacBook Pro, and I can charge the MacBook Pro with this as well, so that's really great. The case here, which on this trip I'll show you what I do, because it's got, if you got the 1TB OLED, it has a really nice little feature. I'll show you that in a little bit. Then I'm going to take these, which I always use. These are my wireless headphones, the Sony WH-100XM4. Really complicated name, but they're great. And last but not least, these are just a really simple, very cheap pair of USB-C headphones from Amazon, and I'll tell you why I bring these, because they're actually excellent. What I'm not going to bring, and you might be surprised, is this bad boy. This is a 30,000 milliampere hour external battery. Just watch the video and I'll tell you why I'm not bringing this one. By the way, I was about to forget something quite important, and it's this. It's this little USB-C to HDMI dongle by Ugreen, which I took, and yeah, I loved it on this trip, and you'll see why. And on the train journey here, the Steam Deck absolutely shines. I've got this really nice, cozy little seat with a table and a power outlet, so I could just game for hours. The OLED screen looks incredible in natural light with the anti-glare of the 1TB version, so gaming is super immersive. Perhaps if you've got somebody sitting next to you, like here, it might not be the most discreet device. There might be other devices which are more discreet, but it absolutely eats up travel time, so it's great to game. Every now and then I do some work away from home, like over the next 3 days in this office, and after a long day, I just feel like gaming for a little bit. And there's this old 16:9 monitor here, so I figured out, why not? I brought my USB-C to HDMI dongle, I plugged it into the deck, and yeah, it just worked. No setup there, just connect it, and I started to play. I mean, there's nobody here now, office is empty, so it's not the fanciest display, but it's just more than enough, and honestly, it felt great just to squeeze in a little unwinding session, just like I would do at home. So I finished my little play session and I'm happy. I'm going to disconnect everything. I'm going to take you home so you can see how we get on over there. This is where I live. Well, not inside here, but up there. Looks like a dungeon. Pretty cool. Elden Ring. At night, when I'm finally home and everything's quiet, that's when I really like the Steam Deck, because there's something about ending the day with a game in bed, not a screen on the wall or a desk setup, just some headphones, a blanket, It's like a personal ritual, no noise, no pressure, just me and maybe 30 minutes of Valheim. Usually I'll try and read a little bit just to really finish my day, but those 30 minutes before that, it's just the kind of gaming I didn't even realise that I missed until I actually started doing it again like this on the Steam Deck, which is one of the reasons I really love the Steam Deck. And there's plenty of other reasons. By the way, if you've not seen it, go and check this video up here about the Steam Deck and why I really love it. So around lunch, the others at work asked if I wanted to join them, and I said,
"Ain't nobody got time for that."
Instead, I grabbed my food and found this quiet little spot nearby, sunny, peaceful, just enough shade to keep the screen visible. And there's something really satisfying about stealing that little time. Just your own moment, your own game in the middle of the day. And by the way, the OLED screen handled the light way better than I expected, because I could actually see what was going on. About the case of the 1TB OLED Steam Deck, as I said at the beginning, what's great about it, especially on travels, is this inside liner. So you can just take it out of the actual case and it saves you about 3 inches from the normal case, so it just makes it extra slim for traveling. That's great. Here's a little thing I've been itching to try. This is the conference room and this is the 75-inch TV. So I really wanted to see if I can connect the Steam Deck here to that bad boy. And here we go. We got the Steam Deck connected to the 75-inch TV in the conference room. That's pretty cool. And if I wouldn't have promised myself to go and have a run tonight, I think I'd just stay here and play until it gets dark. So what I always use, doesn't matter if I'm at home or on this type of trip, are these little no-name USB-C earbuds from Amazon. They're super basic, but they're perfect for the deck because there's no Bluetooth nonsense and there's no battery to worry about. They don't even draw much power since they use the deck's internal audio chip. They're basically like plug and play. They work every time with the USB-C. The only drawback is the fact that obviously you can't charge the deck when you're using them. Alright, now I'm heading back and let's just put on the noise cancelling on the headphones for a second. And there we go, that's better. So how was it? Well, honestly, it's been a great experience and the Steam Deck held up in every situation I threw at it. The train ride, excellent. Post-work gaming, that was great. In bed, fantastic. Break, excellent. Even the little toilet break. Now, many of you might be wondering about the battery, and as expected, it really depends on what you are playing. So if you play AAA games, it's going to drain fast, but if you stick to indies or emulated stuff, it just holds up excellently. And it also always depends what kind of TDP you're playing on. And remember that I explained why I didn't bring the big 30,000 mAh power bank. Well, that's literally heavier than the Steam Deck, like 1.5 times, and honestly, I never need it. There was always a plug on the train or at the office, so I carry a brick when you don't really need it. And of course, that kind of charger might be useful for longer trips, but for this one, it was just useless bug, so I just left it at home. So this whole video was about one simple question: is the Steam Deck actually portable, and can it fit into a few days away from home, adding value without getting in the way? And after these 3 days, the answer to me is pretty clear. Yes, it adds value. Yes, it makes sense to bring it, and yes, it fits. Not in your pocket, but in your life? Absolutely.